All right, we're live.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jay, and we're joined today. Well, of course, we have Scott Solari hosting in studio, and we're also joined by U.S. or former U.S. Navy SEAL Raymond Kerr. Ray, what's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing, Jay? Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Of course, we'll be joined by Monica, and I'm sure the good doctor, Brett Osborne, will be calling up at some point. We may actually have another SOAR team member, Jim Brown, also may dial in. But for the purposes of just starting rocking, I don't know when Monica will be joining me. She's here, but she's handling some stuff right now, I think, on real estate side. But let's start talking a little bit about the topics. I think the first topic we have tonight, Scott, is adopting a warrior mindset for life. Correct?
Yeah, that's the first topic, and I think having Ray obviously on as the guest is perfect for this topic. And I mean, there's so much to this in your day to day of things, the simplest things, and the outlooks that you have on things that happen that you can and cannot control. But Ray, where do you? I mean, starting, for most people, just starting off on the right side of the bed, essentially, and just starting off with the right mindset going into your day. I mean, what do you tell people? Where do they start?
It's funny. I was asked a question today by one of my fans about where this stemmed from with me, and I tried tracing it back to its origins. And I was a state champion wrestler my senior year, and I was telling him, the discipline that it took to do this and do that. And it kind of got me thinking about the topic, because of what Jay said. So what do I tell people? I tell people, bottom line, mindset is a state of being. For me, it's wanting to be a better me. Bottom line, whatever that may mean, whether it's financial, whether it's obviously, physically fit. That's why we're here. That's my big thing. Just to be a better me, personality. If I had the personality of Jay, I'd be a gazillionaire, doing things like that. So what I try to do is I just try to get up every day. And I've told Jay this before, and I'm a little OCD, and I keep a log. I keep a daily log of what I do and who I am, and it's just like nutrition. I was talking with Jay and Doc, and trying to get my diet tweaked in. The first thing they did was like, hey, we want you to write down everything you're doing and keep a log. And I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of work. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's really not. So what I do is I have short, long, and middle term goals of what I want to do, and I sit down and I consult with Jay and I consult with Doc about, fitness and nutrition, and I'm always trying new things. But bottom line, I get up every day with the can-do attitude that, I'm just going to kick ass in every way, shape, or form. And I surround myself with people like that. I wouldn't be on this talk if Jay and Doc and Monica and everybody weren't the same way. I mean, it's just a group of awesomeness, and it's something that I feel everybody has it. I just finding it, you have to unleash and harness that power. That's the key, and everybody has different mechanisms or triggers. With me, I actually like to be kicked and go down and be at my lowest point, whether it's with finding a job or, not being able to deadlift that 500 pounds and trying to find ways around it, no matter what it is, And I think another key to having a mindset is surrounding yourself with good people. If I have questions about lifting or fitness, everybody's like, well, you were Navy SEAL. Well, compared to the company I keep on here, I don't know jack squat. I'm humble, I am. Let me rephrase that. I wasn't humble. I got humbled very quickly with the company that I keep. So I'm always asking questions. I'll call Jay and Doc crazy hours and nights and drive them crazy and say, hey, I read this, or what do you think about this? And, it's just like anything else in the world. You have to feed it. It's a living, breathing organism. And I am a huge component with, it's like anything. Jay will say, hey, check out my book I did, and I'll read it, and it's awesome, and I'll ask him 1,000 questions, and then I take notes. It's the same thing with mindset. If you get up and you set your mind to something, and it's reasonable. I'm not saying like get up and I'm going to be a millionaire today. Who knows? But set your goals, and if you don't accomplish them, then you have to figure out why. What do? I consult with professionals, subject matter experts, SMEs, if you will. The man, the myth, the legend that just came on, Dr. Brett Osborne.
All right, what's up, guys?
Or Jay, and
Hello, everybody.
that's where I start from. We can go into an hour topic of goals and excuse me, of drills and things that I do. But bottom line, I get up every day with the I'm going to kick ass attitude. And if I don't, I literally consult in good people. Hey, what am I doing wrong? Even at my level, because everybody thinks, you know, the Navy SEALs have the most incredible mindset. We're people too, man. We have bad days. And the thing is you just have to power through. I've had days before where I've called Doc and I've called Jay, and they've been like, hey, suck it up. You know, you're having a bad day. You know, everybody has it. I don't know of anybody that gets up every day and has the best day of their life. You know, Doc could have a tricky surgery. Jay could have a client that's not responding well to him. You know, the other day I had a client that I'm working with that's telling me, you know, he's doing this and this and this, but he left out that he's eating McDonald's 3 times a day. You know, so get up, kick ass, do what you got to do, and you know, we're here to answer any and all questions to make you honed in and dialed in.
So, Brett, the question is, and Monica's not with us right now either. She'll be here in a second. But the question is we're just the first point we were hitting on is like how to adapt, you know, quote unquote, the warrior, the Navy SEAL, you know, mindset into our daily lives, and you know how we go about doing that. You wanna care to comment? Are you still there, Brett? Did I lose him?
I hear you.
No, I don't think Brett can hear us. Is he
No,
on?
I'm good.
Oh, okay, good. There you go.
I didn't know who you were I didn't even know who you were directing that question to. Jay, I heard the question. The issue is this: just like Ray said, I mean, for me, this type of this type of mindset has been ingrained into me from the time I was a child. My dad, I will tell you, he's sort of this warrior mindset, if you will. Although he's not the the type A personalities that we are, or as a colleague of mine says high testosterone. Although that's not necessarily true, because high testosterone causes not so much aggression but sort of a calmness. So anyway, right. It started out when I was younger, and it followed me through my neurosurgery training, and Ray and I have, I always tell Ray that the neurosurgeons are the SEALs of medicine, and we sort of are. So this stuff has sort of been ingrained into me, and I don't know how I necessarily incorporate it into my daily life. It just is a part of my life. That being said, for those individuals that it's not a part of, the first step is like everything else, is to start reading and start incorporating these practices into your daily sort of ritual regimen habitually. So you need to start incorporating some of these principles into your daily regimen. And the first thing that I would say is start becoming disciplined with regard to your prioritize your health, as an example, and take that step by step. Start with the small things. Stop eating after 7 o'clock at night. Start drinking more water. Start exercising routinely. It doesn't have to be every day. I'm not a proponent of of this daily exercise, daily killing yourself, but start becoming habituated to doing some things on a regimented basis, and then start incorporating some things on a more intense level. So stepping up the training, setting goals for yourself, as Ray had alluded to. I just entered my first powerlifting competition a couple of weeks back with a friend of mine that was at the first SOAR. My lifting partner, and that was something that we did fairly well at. But we set that goal to do that, to do well, and to not necessarily win. It was our first sort of foray into the lifting arena, but to do the best that we possibly could, and then potentially come back with a win, during our next meet, having gained a little bit of intel, so to speak. So you have to set these goals for yourself. I mean, that's really the first way to incorporate these principles into your sort of your daily existence. It starts with knowledge. Then you have to prioritize something in your life, and then sort of reach for the stars. So whatever it may be, if it's real estate, if it's winning a powerlifting competition, if it's running a marathon, you have to push yourself. And continually remind yourself of that goal. Put it up on your mirror, and so you'll see it first thing in the morning, and do everything that you can to get to that one goal, and then just start incorporating these things into other aspects of your life, whether it's personal goals, financial goals, professional goals, whatever it is, and that's really how you develop it. It only comes through practice. The mindset comes through practice. It's a skill. It's not something that we're born with. Typically, it's sort of it's beaten into you, as in the case of the SEALs and in the case of neurosurgery residency and many other residencies, I can tell you. But this is something that I don't know any other way. But it's something that's learned and something that has to be practiced. It's something that just doesn't come overnight. You can start integrating these practices tomorrow, okay, but understand that the intensity, the sense of urgency is something that has to be developed. And once it is developed, I will tell you, whatever you set your mind to, basically, you will figure out a way to get, to meet that goal, to get things done.
Yeah, very, very well said. Brett knows this, Ray. I haven't spoken to you recently about this, but Monica and I have actually been working with a very prominent mindset coach for like the last 7 weeks now. Actually, we're on week 8. And to be honest with you guys, it's like the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. I mean, I have like, Monica was much more into that stuff and has done a lot of self-improvement, self-empowerment stuff. But working with this person, everything Brett just said is true. You have to have a daily ritual. And whatever that daily ritual is, you should, and everyone's is different and everyone incorporates their own thing, but you really do need to have like very strong, positive affirmations that you set for yourself, that you repeat to yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror in the morning when you first wake up and you say these things to yourself, or you even just think them in some form of meditation. But the one thing that I've learned, like in really training to have a stronger, more powerful mindset is, because as Ray, you said at the very beginning, you alluded to that, like, we all have bad days. Well, that's the key, right? The key is that when you wake up in the morning, if you're encountering resistance and, there's something negative on your thoughts, weighing on your conscience, whatever, what is your strategy to overcome that resistance? And having a strategy, okay, and our mindset coach gave us, and I'll be happy to give anybody who's listening to this the same little document. It's like a JPEG. It's an image graphic file, but it's like 5 key steps to overcoming emotional sabotage. And I'm not going to go through them or anything, but like whenever I encounter resistance or, angst or anxiety or fatigue, mental fatigue in my life right now, and I start stressing over something that I can't solve instantaneously as an analytical, we like to try to solve problems right away. I use this document now, and I've been using it now like religiously for the last 4 weeks, and I swear it has dramatically helped me deal with like mental obstacles or shit that I just couldn't overcome in the past. Stuff that would stress me out. So, really, as Brett said, adopting a positive mindset is a matter of ritual. It's really a practice. It's a mantra that you have to adopt in your life. Or you should, when you use the word have, it's not a good language. It's a choice, it's a choice. You choose to have a positive mindset. You choose to adopt a mantra that will allow you to overcome sabotage whenever you can. But everyone's capable of this, of adopting a positive mindset and incorporating a routine to create that mindset in their life. It's just, choosing how that looks to you or how that works to you. But, both Brett and Ray, hit on it, that it is practice. It's like anything else. It's like developing an awesome body. It's like having an awesome nutritional plan and strategy in your life. It requires practice. It requires preparation, and then just consistency of effort applied over time.
I couldn't agree more. Real quick, Jay, my first platoon that I got into as a SEAL, I was rigging something which is irrelevant here, and I made a big mistake, and it could have hurt somebody. And I physically just beat myself up, and my chief pulled me aside and said, "Hey, even when you lose, you can win." And I took a second, and I was thinking about what you were talking about, and the same thing applies. And think about it, even when we go back in time. You tell a kid that a stove's hot, they're going to go up to it, but guess what happens when they touch it? They're going to burn themselves, and they probably won't do it again. So right. My point is everybody has that mindset. Everybody goes, "Hey, wait a minute. You don't have to do it through pain." That's just one thing. With me, it was emotion. It was like, I can't injure my teammates, and you learn from it. Just like, I'm sure, Doc didn't just start working on brains without, happen to call somebody, we all have people that we look up to. In the SEAL teams, we assess, we analyze, and we execute. And I don't mean execute in a bad way. I mean we go with our plans. So I want to make sure I'm using the right term, execute, right? But that's what I do. That's the 3 steps I do with life. And me and Doc have talked about that many times. I assess, I analyze, and I execute everything I do. And you know what? I'm fortunate enough that most of the time it's worked well in my favor.
Awesome.
Sweet. I love it. So as far as we can spend all day talking about mindset, but in relation to health and fitness, I'll start with you, Ray. I mean, what do you do specifically when it comes to your health and fitness every day? I mean, I think that's, people want to be able to grab onto something that's real. You know what I mean? So what are you doing right now to really maintain that, and when you want to not, those times where you're slipping and you're like, and it's maybe not quite a priority that moment, or whatever it is, what are you doing to make sure that you do get those things done?
Well, I'm a little fortunate because of the other 2 gentlemen I have on the phone. When I have a question or I'm plateauing out with something, it's as easy as me calling Brett or Jay and saying, hey, what do I need to do here? But for an individual, I like to keep it moving. I don't like to get stagnant on something. Doc's got a book out. I changed one of the things I did when I sat down with these guys is you have to be open to, sorry, one of the Houston Texans is calling me, sorry. You have to be open to new ideas. I had to open my mind. This happened when I met Doc. I was just doing the same types of workouts. I had a different build, and I don't call him that often, but Brett looked at me and said, you know what? You're doing things wrong. We can fix this. So instead of, if somebody does have a lot of nutritional or fitness, education, always open your mind up to new ideas. I tell you what, I did it, and I'm not looking back. I mean, I'm 43 years young. I don't say old, and I have never felt as good in my life. And the thing is like I've told everybody before, it's a way of life. My wife, another one. I mean, all of our wives are probably in better shape. I know my wife's in better shape than me. It's contagious, and every day we're reading something. I mean, I could get into a story right now. Brett has me studying for some things right now, and he's like my dad, cracking the whip on me. 8 o'clock in the morning till 12 o'clock at night. Are you studying? Are you studying? You're studying. But with that, I'm learning. So what I would say to people for the mindset is get in those books. Get on these chats and listen. I mean, these guys got more knowledge than I'll ever have. We take these notes. If you see me looking down, I'm writing stuff down even to this day. Because if you think you know it all, right there, I think that's going to be the first step to disaster. And that was my problem. I thought I knew it all. Navy SEAL, could do all these pull-ups and do all this. I've been working with these guys. My body weight has went down. All my benches and maxes have gone up. I have no more issues because I work with mobility. I've changed my diet around. I feel better. I look better. And it's just making me a more positive person all around. And I think that's, at least with me, that's my goal. I don't really care how I look. It's how I feel. And right now I feel damn good. I'll get up and work out. I'll go run 6 miles, come back, have some breakfast, go work out again. And then, if I'm feeling lethargic or tired, I'll call one of these guys and I'll say, hey, you're overtraining, or hey, you're doing this, or hey, you're doing that. And because I'm learning. Because I went through life with just the SEAL mentality was what they say is right, and it's not. Every person is different. I mean, I call these guys sometimes on a daily basis. I know they're probably going to start smiling. I'll drive them nuts and say, hey, how do I be better? And they're just like, Jesus, man, I just talked to you. But if you want excellence, it's a 24/7 thing. It's not. You don't just strive excellence and to be a better you when it's convenient. You do it all the time. From the time you get up, like I said, Arnold Schwarzenegger has a thing. Even when I sleep, I'm dreaming of lifting. I'm dreaming of excellence in every way, shape, and form.
Nice, I love it. Jay, I'm gonna jump to you. specifically, you just went through, you just did the photo shoot, right, for Ironman. Not to shamelessly plug you, but obviously you were doing some stuff that was probably crazy to have your body looking the way you wanted to look. What mindset were you going through? What were you dealing with to fight those urges to get off of the system that you were on?
Yeah, so great question. Yeah, we did that yesterday. Went fantastically well. Brett helped me with the last couple of days, with strategy and whatnot. And Jim also helped me. Um, and as Brett knows and Ray knows too, because we did it all for our photo shoot back in April of this year, those last 6 or 7 days are just crazy because of all the different things you do, drinking the water, manipulating your carbohydrates, at the end, manipulating your fluids, eating a bunch of simple sugars to reglycogenate, do all those things. But to answer your question, the mindset is that you're focused on the end game. And the end game would be you're going to be in Ironman magazine, potentially on the cover. Whatever is the ultimate, penultimate outcome, positive. That's your focus. Your focus during the time that you're preparing and doing all these crazy things is on that final outcome. And as long as you're, again, the highest form of that positive final outcome, as long as your mind is focused on that, all the other stuff is really just, inertia that you can overcome and conquer by just going through the day. You know what I'm saying? And that it's just adopting an iron will of nothing is going to deviate me from that end game. And even though, Scott, to you or to the average person, and I'm not calling you average, but to the average person that doesn't live this lifestyle, who thinks oh my God, I could never do that, or I could never be that militant about my diet or, do all these crazy things and stuff like that. And I say, well, it's not true, because if you were, put into the same environment or put into with the same goal, you were given and challenged with, you'd be surprised at how you could overcome and adapt. So I personally think that anybody can do this. Whether anybody it's something that they want to do is a whole other story. But if given the option and the thought processes, I think that you can do it. It's just a matter of, like I said, it's just the focus on the maximum positive outcome or end game. And the only thing I would add to that is that you can't get too fixated on the finality of the end game, because remember, in life it's about enjoying the journey. It's living in the precious present. My biggest issue in life is always focused on the future or future prophesizing, thinking about what's next instead of truly smelling the coffee and embracing that moment and living in the precious present. So there is a balance. Yes, you're fixated on that outcome, success, or the ultimate achievement of whatever that goal is, but you should, if at all under pretenses, in any case possible, try to enjoy and embrace the journey and say, wow, this is fucking cool. Most people think this is hard. This isn't hard. I got this. But again, embrace it and just breathe it in and feel it and experience it as it's happening, not just, oh shit, I have a photo shoot, or oh, I want to lose 50 pounds or 30 pounds or whatever. It's just enjoying the ride.
So rolling into that, Doc, how important do you feel like it is to have tangible goals that you can set your mind on whether it's every day, every week, month, having a daily goal that's pushing you towards a weekly goal, towards a monthly goal? How important is it to have that so you're always working something and it's not some arbitrary thing that isn't necessarily real?
If you don't have a goal, short-term, long-term goals, whatever you want to call them, whatever, you're going to be lost. So basically, everything that that I do, during my day, aside from the small amount of downtime that I actually do allow myself to take, just to sort of ease my mind a little bit, is really goal-directed behavior. I mean, we as humans want to be, we're sort of programmed to be goal-directed and goal-oriented. A lot of people don't realize that, but things will fall into place, if you want to use those words, by virtue of you setting your goals. Okay, you will find a very, very fast track and an efficient way to meet those goals if they're discrete. Like I said, a lot of people put short-term and long-term goals up on their bathroom mirror so that they see them every time They look in the mirror in the morning and at night, et cetera, et cetera. This is one of the ways that you can program yourself to be very, very efficient and get things done in an efficient, expeditious manner. Because otherwise, you're really wandering around aimlessly. So even if you think that you don't have any goals, of course you do. Set some goals. They can be fitness goals. They can be professional goals. They can be personal goals. They can be financial goals. Everybody has goals. If you are not sort of somebody who is very, very goal directed by virtue of their past experience, and you sort of want to jump into this, and everybody should, of course. These things need to be written down. Okay, written down and reread, written down and reread. That's one of the things that my father taught me. From the time I remember him telling me these things when I was 5 years old. Hi, Monica.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Yeah.
You guys are looking quite lean. I got to tell you. And that's a good thing.
We have good teachers.
Right. Anyway, Scott, getting back to what you were saying, my dad used to tell me, write things down. It doesn't matter if they're they're going to be for you. They're going to be 7-year-old goals. That's okay. Okay, they're going to be 40-year-old goals. They're going to be 35-year-old. It doesn't really matter. Okay, they're not age specific. Okay, they're personal decisions, personal goals. But they give you something to shoot for, and they give you something to sort of direct your behavior towards. As Ray had said, and I think it's very important. He's always trying to make himself better. I do the same thing. I know Jay and Monica do the exact same thing. It may not be very, very clearly thought out, for some people, but I think that for the most part, people are trying to improve themselves. One of the ways that I do these things, in addition to trying to physically improve myself, and I set benchmarks and goals and things like that, is I'm always reading, like Ray said. I'm always trying to learn. I actually, and this is wrong of me, but I actually feel bad about reading a lot of fiction because I don't think it's making me any smarter. So I try to read a lot of things that are related to what I do, either this type of stuff, whether it's anti-aging, regenerative medicine, or neurosurgery or medicine. Soon Jay's book. These are the things that allow us to improve ourselves. I'm always doing puzzles. I always have my head in the game somewhere. These are the ways that I'm constantly trying to get myself up.
Ride a motorcycle at 200 miles an hour, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, doing that too, which is really sort of a mind exercise. Whatever mind exercise you choose, whatever exercise you choose, whatever it's physical, it's mental, whatever it is, okay, you should be doing something on a daily basis to try to improve yourself. It has to be priority. You can't just lollygag and sit on the couch all day and watch TV. It's not going to work.
So with that said, brilliant. I wanted to just segue real quick. Scott, this book, you and Frank should read this book if you guys haven't read this book. Have you read it already?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this book, I read this book about a month ago. Brett, you get this for your practice and read it. It's called The Ultimate Sales Machine. It's turbocharge your business with relentless focus on 12 key strategies. I'll send you the link. Don't worry.
I'm taking a picture of it, man.
Okay, you can
Hold
even
it
do
up.
that.
Of course I can just get it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Absolutely fucking, excuse my language, epic book. So the one thing I'll take up, I want to just segue what you just said, and Ray, this book will work for you too, man. Brilliant time management. Scott, you're probably already aware of this. Like his time management strategy for what you were just talking about, writing down your list. People are always told you should have a list, right? Plan your goals, blah, blah, blah. Well, one thing that I really picked up from this book that really fascinated me that I'm now embracing in my own lifestyle and running with our business, our real estate business, and I'm sure we can do it with SOAR eventually too, is he has this idea that, everybody should have a long-term list, right? But that long-term list, as Brett, you said, may take years to whittle away. What you should do every night before you go to bed, and everybody, again, can do this on their own time and their own schedule, he says, you should carve 15 minutes of your day up, calendar it in, where you're not distracted, nobody's bothering you, kids, wife, family, nothing, and you are writing out 6 goals that you are going to achieve the next day. Now, this is not 6 goals that you can't achieve the next day, so you got to be very selective in your brain to know that your goal or the task at hand, you are absolutely determined to knock out these 6 goals on a daily basis. And if you do that, he says, and again, I'm working on it myself right now, but he says that in 95% of the people that he's ever coached, and he's coached some of the top literally, as Scott can tell you, this guy was hired. He's paid like $250,000 to come in and work with the top Fortune 50 companies in the world to like retrain your sales force and stuff like that. But he says that this time management strategy of these 6 goals will completely free up your brain to become a better critical thinker and a better planner, because when you're able to execute day in and day out, your long-term goals all of a sudden start becoming short-term goals because your ability to execute becomes that much greater. So I've actually been doing that for the last month and a half since I read the book 2 months ago, and I swear I've had like a transformation in my life as far as my organizational process. And I'm a highly organized freak anyway. So I thought I would share that because it's like an awesome way to like really like micro segment your goal strategies and your lists, so that if you just are focused on just 6 that you can do every single day, you become more selective in the goals, because you're not going to like put a goal of like, oh, I want to pay off all my bills, or I want to have $50,000 in the bank, on your list, and then expect to knock it out the next day. You know what I mean? So it's like you're doing things that you piecemeal know that you can do every day. So you just become better and more critical of like your ability to actually knock out goals. So it's an awesome strategy. You have anything to offer, Monica, now that you're here?
I came in the middle, so I'm not sure. What I think.
We're talking about mindset. We're adopting the warrior mindset in day-to-day life.
In day-to-day life. Well, the thing that I would say more or less with mindset is, remember, Scott, it's constant and never-ending improvement. And I think what happens with people is they have these goals, and like what Jay was saying is it becomes too hard to break down, and so it's like, say someone has to lose 100 pounds, and they're like, wow, that's so far away. Instead of just realizing, okay, if I take these steps day to day, then that gets me closer to my goal. So if you break it down in smaller chunks, it just becomes so much easier. For someone like me, like I have a harder time with focus than Jay does. I'm like all over the place half the time. So for me, it's great for me to look at goals and to say, okay, well, this is what and be excited about them. Because think about it. If you're not excited about the goals, then what the hell are you doing it for anyway? Life is meant to be exciting, to be fulfilling, to be happy. So I believe that if you're going to work towards something and have some sort of a like strong mindset, have enthusiasm and passion associated with it as well.
It's crazy. Like, I'll give you guys an example. What I was talking about is like I normally have a to-do list in my notebook, which see how focused I am, Brett? This is the notebook I carry around. Yeah. But like this to-do list is usually 2 pages. Okay, 45 things on it. Right now I have 9 on my long-term to-do list. Now this isn't my 6th thing because I carry that on my phone. I do it on my phone. I use Wanderlust on my phone. But like it's helped me so much that I'm whittling down my to-do list. So the bottom line is like you have to become incredibly strategic in your thought processes when you do plan, and it all relates back to having the mindset of preparation.
Yeah.
Jay, that was a good answer. Let me just add one little thing. What you're doing by virtue of that is you're not just creating lists of things for you to do. What you're actually doing is you're prioritizing these things, and you're thinking about the things, the time commitment, everything else that's involved in getting those things done prior to putting those things down on your list. Because you really don't want to. Those lists should be geared towards success. They should be 100% success rate. You shouldn't put 6 down and meet 2. No, yeah. That's not the important. So it's a reinforcement. The reinforcement of success, okay, fosters and breeds more success. Okay, and that's very, very important as well.
Right. I also think, just a little side note, I also believe that it comes, like, perspective is part of it. Like, it depends on how you look at it. If you place value, think about it. We all want to have some significance in our life, or we all want to have like an important role in somebody's life. And if we don't take care of ourselves, like this list or whatever, how we write things down and this is what we're going to work, it's because we place value in what it is that we want in our lives. We place value in ourselves. If we don't have value in ourselves, then shit, all that stuff doesn't matter. What the hell? It doesn't matter at all. That's it.
Absolutely. I'm completely agree with you, and it's big that you do it the night before, and you sit down and you think about what you are going to be doing the next day, rather than getting into your day and being like, what am I supposed, what am I trying to complete? Then it's just chaos. There's no way that you're ever going to be
wandering aimlessly.
Well, it's like Chet says. It's like Chet says, like, who doesn't have 15 minutes, right? Like, we all hear the excuses, oh, I'm time crunched, nighttime is with my kids, nighttime is with my wife, I'm focused on my side business, blah, blah, blah. Calendar 15 minutes. That's all that it takes.
Think about it this way. It's an investment. Watch how you approach things. If you're going to say, oh, I don't have any time, I have to do this, come on.
Well, I mean,
it's an investment in you.
The one other thing that I will just add, and we can go into the other topics here in a second, Scott, that I want to talk about because Brett will have some good stuff to add, is I've embraced like the whole book, Scott. Like I literally have, once I finished the book, I literally calendared my whole life, right? Like how many of us really sit down, Ray, and we take out our phone or we take out our iCal or our Google Calendar or whatever, and we literally catalog and hierarchically organize our entire day. I'm not kidding you. Like, Brett, you should see my calendar now. It's laughable. Like, I have, like, when I'm going to respond to emails, right? Like, what part of the day I'm focused on marketing SOAR. Like, when am I reading to Alex and Gabby, my daughters? Like I have my day, and again, we don't always, life gets in the way. We don't uphold a perfectly set calendar, right? But if we constantly have it in our calendar so that we're going through our day and we get notifications or we get updates, okay, it's time to do this, or oh, did you do this? And you'll laugh at this, Brett, but like our mindset coach got both me and Monica to have affirmations, right? Like on the hour now, we'll get like, what is successful? What are you creating? What would you like to create? Just as a reminder, just pop up and we read it. So there's so much that you can do with technology, being so ubiquitous and so powerful nowadays. It's just embracing it. It's just like really realizing it. But I honestly, like I changed our calendar a month ago, and we had a meeting with our entire real estate company, all the people that work with us and work for us, and we got everybody doing this, and it just our time management and our ability to like critically analyze stuff is just become so much better because we're upholding a schedule. It's like we're intentionally trying to keep holding schedule.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. If you're not on my calendar, you don't exist.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump to the second kind of topic that we wanted to get into was cleanses and detoxes. Do they really work? So, I don't know, Jay, do you want to kind of start off with what you were thinking about this topic and how you wanted to kind of introduce it to us?
Yeah, I mean, I think Brett can expound on this. I'm sure, Brett, you get it from patients all the time, but, I get emails from people all the time about asking about, like, is a detox, or a colonic, or, not eating for like 2 days, or drinking like juice or lemon juice, or all this stuff that I hear from people all the time. Sometimes it's what is it, the vinegar? What is this stuff?
Apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar. You hear all these different weird things that people are doing, and I don't do it. Monica and I don't do it.
Yes.
I see it.
I'm trying to talk, and I see Monica flexing, and I'm like, what is going on?
Hey, I don't sweat. I sparkle, baby.
Good God.
My God, help us. Dude,
Monica, let's see those hammies. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Hey, go on Facebook. It's all there, babe.
Dude.
I know.
So, Brett, save me here. So, so we don't do them. Are they beneficial? I don't really know because I don't have enough experience in doing them. I mean, Brett, do you think that there's any efficacy in doing any of those things?
No, I don't think that there's any peer-reviewed data on that. Okay, I will tell you that people literally, they feel, cathartic. Okay, when it's like a catharsis for them when they go and they quote unquote get cleaned out. Okay, if you will. I will tell you, sort of along those lines, and we've spoken about this many times in many different forms, that there is, of course, validity to sort of cleansing, keeping your gut health, okay, as good as possible, okay? And, I'm a big probiotic pusher to everybody, whether or not you're on antibiotics, okay? But particularly if you're on antibiotics, you should be on probiotics, okay? Whether you get them from yogurt, okay, you get them from, I'm not really a yogurt fan. I get them from capsules.
Yeah.
Just because I don't really care for the yogurt and I don't really care for the the milk product, so to speak. But anyway, there's more and more data coming down the pike, okay, on the relationship between our gut, okay, gut health and brain health and total body health, okay. So it's very important from, yeah, there you go. Yep. Important. Okay. And I saw you got the big, the 10 billion CFUs. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Industrial, baby.
Right.
My gut is super strength power.
There you go. So anyway, well, Monica, let me ask you a question. When you were recently on antibiotics, don't ask me how I know that. Did you have any problem because you were on probiotics? No, you probably didn't, did you? With your gut. Yeah. I
am healthy and strong.
Yeah, you were healthy. But anyway, what I was going to say is it's very, very important to have an overabundance of the good gut flora, the good bacteria, as opposed to the bad, if you want to call it that, bacteria. So you get that by using on a daily basis probiotics. So as far as these colonics are concerned, these coffee, I'm thoroughly going to tell you that I have personal is purely anecdotal and there's really nothing else. I will tell you though, and I harp on this. It is extremely, extremely, extremely important to take probiotics. Okay, and you're going to see more and more and more and more data about this link between the gut and the brain. Okay, and the really maintaining the integrity of your gut health. Okay.
So what do you recommend then?
Yeah. So I recommend, as is in the book. Okay. At least 1 billion CFUs, colony-forming units, cells. Okay, every day. Okay, and I think that's probably even understated.
Right.
Okay. There are preparations that I'm now trialing actually that have 10, as you had there, Monica, and 15 billion CFUs. Yep. I tell my patients, okay, and this is not on antibiotics, and all my post-operative and perioperative patients are put on probiotics. But I tell my patients to use these things aggressively on a daily basis, okay, and typically at night, okay, not when you've eaten, okay, so you're actually getting release of this stuff into the gut sort of unimpeded and not mixed in with food, and that really, I think, plays an impact on your gut health and how intolerant you are to milk, etc. Although I'm not a big milk drinker, but it does help. So every day, okay, preferably at night, in my opinion, okay, and I would push more than what I had said before, which was just 1 billion CFUs. I would push it up. Also, it's probably beneficial, although there's no hard data on this stuff that I'm aware of yet, but it will come down the pike if somebody does a study, if somebody gets enough patients in the study. It's probably better to get a mixed floral type of preparation as opposed to just using the lactobacillus, which is really the cheapest route. And that's the stuff you find on the shelf at CVS, at Walmart, and stuff like that. And that's fine. But you're probably better off with a mixed flora product that has Saccharomyces in it and Bifidobacterium, and in addition to the lactobacillus. So it's sort of a mixed species probiotic. The more good bacteria you can get into your body, as far as I'm concerned, into your gut, the better. So if you can afford it, they're going to be more expensive. Jarrow has a good product, okay, with a mixed species product. Buy that, okay, and keep it in your fridge.
Are you guys selling it in your practice?
We are actually, yes. Not the Jarrow product. We're selling the Life Extension product right now. But Jarrow is a good product as well. Try to keep these things refrigerated, and if you can't keep them, if they're not refrigerated when you buy them, refrigerate them assuredly after you open them. Assuredly.
How do you spell the product that you're suggesting?
It's just a brand, Jarrow, Jarrow. They make a lot of different supplements.
Yeah, they make Bone Up. They make Bone Up.
Yep, make Bone Up. They make an N-acetylcysteine. They make these probiotics, a whole host of supplements. They've been around a long time. Reputable.
Yeah, they're a great company.
Yeah,
definitely a great company. So Ray, have you ever done a colonic or anything like that? Don't lie.
So Ray, hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Not the question I usually get on a first date, but
I knew that was coming.
We just want to know if you've done
I was sending you a text.
you know as well as I do, I've eaten healthy, and that's about the extent of it. I didn't actually start really dieting until we were all together last year. So, but nothing in any type of flushing. I do. A good friend of mine that passed away in Benghazi, Glenn Doherty, he was into the tea herbal type flushing thing where he would take it before he went to bed, and then what's so funny? and then he would wake up and have to do the Carl Lewis to the bathroom, and after I saw that, I said enough. Sorry, I don't mean to be graphic, but
Hey, Ray.
sharing one bathroom with 3 of us in Beirut wasn't nice. So I called it off right there. No, I was close.
Hey, my mom, when we were younger, she used to give us enemas if we were bad.
If you were bad, oh my God.
All right, man. Let's switch topic to the last one. We got like 15 minutes left, and Brett and I have to take a call at 5:15. So, what's the last topic, Scott?
I was gonna say, Monica, that reminds me of the time I was in prison.
Yeah.
We are really.
All right. I'll stop. We're going off.
Well, the last one, and it's kind of something we touched on earlier with mindset, but it's time management and how do you balance work, fitness, and being a parent. So,
I think that's a good question for Ray, because Ray honestly is all over the place.
Yeah, Ray's traveling way more than any of us. So.
And he's got his act together. So go, Ray.
With me, a lot of it stems from, and you guys know my wife. I have a kick-ass wife who runs everything at the household. She is the foundation of what we call Casa del Care, Team Care. She lives and breathes fitness too. So when I'm on the road, I've got the salads, I've got everything I can, but like, Jay and Doc said, I prioritize. Especially with me, with the TV stuff I do and stuff and the fitness on the side, I've got to look the part. Mm-hmm. So, I've got to eat good, I've got to work out, I've got to get the right amount of sleep, and I've got to get the job done. The only thing that sucks is God only put 24 hours in the day. I wish He would have put a few more because I can't get it done. But I was just in LA for 5 days and came back for 1 day, had to cut the grass, do a honey-do list, and now I'm in Texas filming something else. But I always I will find 45 minutes a day to work out, whether it's getting up at, like I did this morning at 5 a.m. or doing it at night. I have to find a way. I can't function. Some people need their coffee, some people need their whatever it is. I need, my cardio, my weights. That's my sanction. That's my church. You need it. Prioritize, guys. Figure out what's important.
And what I hear you saying too is that the support that you have from your wife is important, because with her support, it's almost like an accountability partner of such, right?
I agree. I don't think I could be as successful as I am if I had a wife that sat on the couch. No. But what I mean is just, she backs me. I mean, there's been days, I'm not going to sit here and lie to anybody that's listening. I've had days where I haven't wanted to get my big fat ass off the couch, and she's go. I mean, everybody needs a kick in the butt sometimes. I mean, I've had my daughter say, "Daddy, you look like you're getting a belly on you," and I'm off running 6 miles, and they'll do it just to mess with me. But it's like we've talked about before, it's a lifestyle. I mean, I think the people that are here in our families, we live and breathe it all the way down to our children. I mean, I know everybody's children, and they're all fit, and they're into fitness and they're into working out. My daughter's into gymnastics; she's nuts. Every night before she goes to bed, I'm a winner, I'm a champion. I make her say it. It's a lifestyle, guys. This is not, it's what I call it. It's not snowboarding. Snowboarding is a fad. It's like skiing. Right. It's a lifestyle.
Right.
Get on board now, go down the slope, and it's great.
So Ray, what would you recommend to people out there that, let's say they have a 9-to-5 job, they got to, for example, in LA, they got to drive to LA, so they got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they have these excuses of, well, I got to be in LA by 8 o'clock, and then I've got kids. And
I like it.
What would you say to some of those people that have the excuses, that have the challenges, that want to make it work, and yet they're looking at all of the challenges that they face?
Perfect example, James Heckman, my old boss, used to run Scout, Rivals, gazillionaire. Had all this money and did everything, worked in New York, and he was just too busy to do it. But, he joined up at the Aquanox gym and paid like $300 a month for something ridiculous that was 2 minutes away and he couldn't walk to it. He said, I physically don't have time. So I bought him a cable system and I put it in his office, and I showed him how to do just 10 different basic exercises, some squats, some this and that. We literally spent about $200 and put it in there. He works out every day now. The problem is it's just like anything else. You have to get up and get through that transitional period. For me, it's 14 days. If I lay off the working out or whatever, I feel like complete dirt, and it takes me 14 days to start seeing or feeling that difference. He was the same way. He works out every day now. Now he's going to Octonauts. He changed his priorities.
Right.
He wasn't thinking smart. He was too busy worried about the money, and he wasn't worried about total. You need to be around, spend that money or make that money or whatever super rich people do. I have no clue. So he did that. I told him, all I need is 30 minutes of your day. He actually had a shower built, and I don't know how you do that or how much money that would cost in his office so he could do it, because you can make time.
Right.
I mean, the person I know here, you guys have great careers with real estate, and Brett's always, opening people's brains up or putting them back together or doing whatever he does, and he still has time. You guys all still have time. I know I'm not the most, sorry guys, I talk a little rawler, but there's always time.
There is always
Even
time.
if it's 5 minutes, start somewhere. I'm working with a buddy of mine right now that I grew up in high school with. 2 months, he's down 63 pounds. 63 pounds. I was going to wait. I've got pictures. I'm going to show it at the end, but, I'm working with him. He's walking 10 minutes a day. He couldn't walk 2 months ago.
That's awesome.
I'm happy.
That's awesome, man.
Good. That's awesome. And so what I hear you saying though too is that look for the solution rather than look for the excuse, right?
You know the saying.
I'm going
to say it.
I want to come from you.
Don't make excuses, make solutions, baby.
There you go, baby. That's what I want to hear.
Don't. Where there's a will, there's a way. If I can't stress it enough, guys. I can't stress enough. Get it into my. You know how I started doing. I've been sitting here listening to you guys and how you get through the day. Something else I do is I take those little Post-its. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I write little things of where I know I'm going to be on the computer. In the fridge, that's where I write a big one, like, hey, I will literally write, you're getting fat. I won't touch what I'm supposed to, You got to have little triggers or mechanisms that are going to keep you going throughout the day.
Monica has pasted flashcards, like, in every area of our house of, like, affirmations. Like, you're a powerful creator, you're beautiful, you trust yourself.
You're beautiful.
You love yourself.
I love you.
Back to the girls, like, with your daughter, like, I have Alex and Gabby every night before they go to bed, we make them say, I'm going to remember my dreams.
But we don't make them.
I don't make them, but I do make them. I mean, I basically
say this right now.
I basically say, Alex and Gabby, I want you guys to say this every night. They say, I'm going to remember my dreams. I'm going to remember my dreams. I'm going to remember my dreams. And then they say, my dreams are amazing. And when I wake up, what is this? What is it? What are they supposed to say when they wake up? I forgot what it is. But we make them do that, or I ask them to do that, but they choose to do it. And it's true. I mean, it's like you said, it's positive reinforcement for life. And the mind, once the mind starts hearing it so often, it becomes a part of experience. It's not just a belief. It's the belief, becomes a reality.
You think if I start saying affirmations about my hair growing back, that it'll happen?
Well, that doesn't help me.
You gotta rub coconut oil on it every day and have your honey massage it.
Scott, why do you
what are
need
we
hair,
talking
bro? You're a good-looking guy with strong personality.
Dude, my dad said there's only a few perfect heads in the world, and the rest of them have hair, dude. Come on.
See?
Come on, it's all perception, hombre.
So, I agree with that right there. That's my Post-it for life. Tip of the spear.
There you go.
My wife thought I was a complete idiot, but there it is. I look at it every day.
Hey, by the way, Brett, I've been listening to Ray. He's overtraining. You gotta get him a little. You gotta get him to ease back. It's training every day stuff. No, I know you're just. I'm just kidding. I know.
I get it in when I can with the schedule that I've been doing, guys.
I'm just kidding, bro. I know. Believe me, if I don't, I have to do some form of endurance training usually if I'm not training.
I don't. I just sit on the couch and eat potato chips.
Nice. Monica, I'm flying to LA.
Genetics is a wonderful thing.
Nice.
Let's see it.
162 pounds the day that they secured Hell Week. I wanted to show you that picture.
Nice chest, dude.
199.8 right now.
Look at the little baby.
How much did you weigh there? You are a midget. How much was it?
162 and change. 10 minutes after Hell Week.
That was right when you. That was right when you just got in. You made it.
I just made it through Hell Week of Buds. I lost 16 pounds in 5 days.
Do you realize I talked to a guy today? I'm going to connect you with him. He's going in like 4 months, and he just like reached out to me through my blog, and I talked to him on the phone.
Hey, Scott, what are you posting on, Bray?
I told him I would have you talk to him because he had a bunch of questions about it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Those potato chips, huh, Monica?
I'm not. Yeah.
Them some good potato chips.
Buzz right now. It's got that picture, but wow.
Them potato chips are some good potato chips.
I have that. Me and Brett have that same workout outfit that we wear in the gym, but we're not.
Hey, I just want to know, Ray, like, how come your outfit, your chonies were down low there? What's up with that?
My what?
She says your underwear. She calls them chonies.
Yeah, like that picture.
Because the chafing in the sand was so bad, I literally would have had them off if I could.
Yeah, I was like,
flesh
dang.
underwear.
We thought it was just a gay pickup deal or something.
That was actually with the chaplain.
Sorry, I look at the chony line. Sorry.
You're both going to hell for that one. That was the chaplain for the SEAL team.
All my gay friends, I love you guys. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Brett and I got to jump on a call here in 15 minutes. Scott, did you want to add anything else or finish?
No, this is great. I had fun today, guys. You guys are the best, and it was a good conversation. So I think there's a lot of stuff that you can get out of this hangout and implement.
What did we do? We just got a question.
Hey, real quick. I came in late, so I apologize if you already did. But Ray, can you go ahead and promote your site?
Yeah, guys. thewarriorwithin.com. I'm just kind of diving in, doing some fitness, doing some training. We're even branching off, doing a lot of workout videos, even trying to get some one-on-one. We're doing a lot of training, tactical shooting and training. I'm down here filming for it right now. Should be some good stuff coming your way.
Cool.
Yeah, his website looks really good. Whoever built that for you did a really good job. And then just to plug SOAR, guys, we're going to have much more on SOAR coming up, but SOAR is February 4th through 6th in Jupiter Beach, Florida. We'll have, like I said, much more. Brett and I are actually getting on a call here in 15 minutes to discuss the promotion of it. But, guys, honestly, the program, for what we're charging, the program really has no rival or equal in the marketplace. For anybody who's looking to have their hormones optimized, to learn how to properly strength train, to understand their mobility and their flexibility and whatnot, and then, of course, to find out everything there is to know about anti-aging and hormonal optimization. I mean, this is the program. And one other thing I can announce, Brett and I kind of decided to do this in the last couple of days. For people that are already working with doctors and they have their hormones optimized, we are going to offer the opportunity for you to come and spend time with us at the seminar for $1,500. Okay, so you don't have to work with Brett from a scripted hormone standpoint. You can just come and you can observe the anti-aging and the hormonal optimization seminar lecture, and then you can also work hands-on in the gym at the WAD farm over the 2 days. So that's an opportunity. Again, we'll have much more about this on my site, on Brett's site, and as we start heavily marketing this.
Plus, come on, you get to rub elbows with all of us. Come on. Hello.
Monica's still a little bit.
No brainer. Sorry.
Brett, anything you wanted to add about SOAR before we jump off here?
No, I expect to see everybody that's watching Plus there.
Yeah, baby.
It's really a unique sort of novel opportunity to not only to learn from a didactic standpoint, but to be involved with the clinic and also to be involved with these talented individuals, both from the standpoint of academia and also actually exposure to the physical aspects of training and mobility, et cetera, et cetera. It's a very, very unique sort of conglomerate hybridization of subspecialties, all of which are health related, but we cover it basically from the inside out and really leave no stone unturned. So it's a unique opportunity to come to listen and to probe and ask questions and really get involved and make sure that you're doing, as far as the exercises are concerned, sort of the big 5 exercises that we all We all talk about the big compound anabolic exercise to make sure that you're thoroughly vetted and make sure that you're doing these things safely. A lot of the things that are sort of floridly lacking from these anti-aging clinics are really going to be sort of emphasized in SOAR, and it's sort of a fast track to a new start in your life.
Yep, it's awesome, guys. I'm super excited. I cannot wait. I wish it was tomorrow.
Likewise.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome. Don't miss it.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Anything you want to say, Ray? You good?
Looking forward to seeing everybody on the beach.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not looking forward to that.
What are the dates again? When are the dates again? Can you announce those again?
Yeah, February 4th through February 6th in Jupiter Beach, West Palm Beach area. We'll have much more about it soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Brett, you have the link. You have the link for Brian.
Do I? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
He just